Welcome back to another episode of the Angel Moms podcast. I'm Lisa Bain, certified grief educator, author, podcaster, speaker, and grieving mom. Just wanted to pop in here and talk a little bit about two of the things that I think are absolutely critical when you are grieving, and they are connection and community. Now, if I could yell anything from the mountaintops, it would be this: get connected to other people who are enduring the same loss as you. I think we've all tried to get involved with some kind of grief group where it is all grief, all kinds of grief: pet loss, job loss, parent loss, grandparent loss, and so on and so forth. And if you're like me, you probably felt lost. You probably felt like, oh, I don't think this space is for me. I don't have anybody to connect with. I think finding the right group of people who are going through the same thing as you is so important, like vital, essential. Let me just tell you a short story about my experience. Now, I was very much and still am one of those people who needs to figure out a solution to the problem. Now, before you turn this video off, just hear me out. I know this isn't a problem with a solution. The only solution is to magically somehow have our children back with us. Man, I wish I could do that, but not going to happen. But I am definitely a fixer by nature. I'm always looking for a solution. The car is making a squeaky noise. I'm going to go to the mechanic. I'm going to, find a way to fix that. I've put on 5 pounds. I'm going to, speak with my nutritionist, or I'm going to, try and exercise more. I try and deal with situations head on. That's who I am. So after we lost Katie, who's just over here, by the way, I thought, okay, what am I going to do about this? What can I do to help myself? Well, the most obvious thing I could think of was to find a support group. And while I was introduced to a fantastic group right off the hop, I wanted to find other groups as well. And I remember going to a group, face-to-face group, where there was 3 of us in the room: the facilitator and 2 of us grieving mothers. And both of us, like the grieving mothers, were both pretty new. We looked to the facilitator for some guidance, some direction, some, invitation to speak, where she just went on and on and on about her own grief journey. Just telling us that she had been 15 years plus onto this journey. Life was hell. It was never going to be better. It would never get better. And life was over, and didn't really give us a chance to talk. So I didn't go back to that one. It didn't feel right for me. I have also joined a ton of, groups online. Many of them were free, and not that that's ever a bad thing. I think free is great, but no direction, no facilitation, no making sure that it was a safe community. There was lots of bullying, even. Who would have thought bullying between grieving mothers? But there was bullying, if a mom said, well, I feel like I'm doing this and it's helping. Like, I really feel like my grief's maybe getting a little lighter. It seemed like somebody would attack that person and say, well, grief never gets better. Or anyway, we've all seen it. I don't have to get into those details, but so those groups didn't feel right, or lack of direction, or just people that didn't have the same either religious or spiritual beliefs. And I have joined a lot and I have left a lot. But having said all of that, when you find the right group, when the group just fits like a favorite leather glove, where you leave, and this is the most important thing, when you can leave a group, whether it's online or live, in person, you leave and you feel a little bit better. You feel a little bit lighter. You may have cried. You may have shared your story a bunch of times. It was hard to do, but when you went home, you feel better. That's the goal of a group. And I think that community is so important because I don't know about you, but even though in my mind, I knew that there were other grieving mothers out there, it felt to me in the beginning like I was the only one going through it. But when you can come together and you can share your story, I can talk about Katie, somebody can talk about David, somebody can talk about, their precious sweetheart, how they passed, what's going on, the things, the awful things people are saying to them, and that we can talk about the different aspects of grief, right? Because it's not just the emotional stuff. There's the physical stuff. There's the psychological stuff. There's so much that I think that that's where we can start moving the needle in our grief. So that being said, and me letting you know how important connection and community are, you might be thinking, well, that's great. Where do I find one? You've just said that there are some crummy ones out there. Where do I go? Where do I find them? Well, up until October of 2024, I actually had an online community. However, when I started it, it was in the middle of COVID, and I didn't think it was going to last. In all honesty, I thought, who's going to want to join a community, like a membership for grieving mothers? Ew, who wants to belong to that, right? That was my thinking. So when I started it, I didn't really put a ton of thinking into the long-term aspects. I thought, maybe as long as COVID's going on, it'll be a place where we can come together. Well, it turned out to be so popular that it kept going. And while it was great and I got fantastic feedback, and all the angel moms said, this is the highlight of their week. They look forward to coming every week and checking in because they got to know the other moms. There were friendships made. They felt seen, heard, validated. There were a few problems with that group. Not the people. The people were awesome, but I had it on 3 different platforms. So there was a private Facebook group. There was another private community that housed all of the resources, all of the recordings. So people had to log into that. And then there was Zoom. Okay. So and then there was email, right? Because I would send out, oh, by the way, don't forget the meeting, and here's the link in email. So there was, I guess, 4 different things. So people were having to jump between thing to thing to thing to thing. And if you've got grief brain, I think we've all had it at some point, it's hard to manage. So that was confusing. Because of all of that, the price point was, in the mid $20 range or higher, depending on when people joined. And I mean, we all know that the economy's in the toilet right now. And then the other thing that I didn't factor into things was my own grief. And I didn't set it up in a way that supported me or supported what I needed. And I started to burn out last spring. And it took me a long time to make the decision to close the community. So I closed it last fall. But when I closed it, I made the promise that I would build it again. I would build it better, and I would build it in such a way that we could bring the costs down, that it would be better supportive of my needs, and that it would be super, super, super simple to use. So having said all of that, I just wanted to share with you what the brand new Angel Moms online community is going to look like and when it's opening. And if you are seeing this video, it is open. But I'm also having an early bird special. So if you are watching this video anywhere between January 21st, had to check my calendar, up until midnight on January 25th, there's an early bird special. So get in there, get that special pricing. Price will go up after that. Not a lot. I still want to keep price low, but will go up. There's going to be monthly live Zoom sessions. Everything is going to be housed in Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, I'll have a private group. It's safe, it's compassionate, but just one place for you to go. Okay. There'll be monthly Ask Me Anything videos. You can submit your questions. I will answer them in the group. Okay. There'll be new resources dropped every month, whether it's journaling prompts, yoga video, meditations, book recommendations that I've read, so on and so forth. Okay. And then there'll be Facebook Lives, and these will be a place where I will present on a topic related to grief. I think it's really important that we learn all aspects of grief and we start to think about things, and we learn why we react the way we react, and we learn tools, and we maybe have some guests involved. So lots and lots of things to look forward to. The early bird special is, are you ready for it? $9 a month. Yeah, you heard me right. $9 a month. So, hopefully that is low barrier to everybody. And then the price will go up slightly after January 26th, but that's what you can expect. As a certified grief educator, I've got lots of education and experience in facilitating groups. It's not an easy thing to do. I think we've all been to group sharing environments, whether it's at work or otherwise, where some people maybe talking more than they should and taking over things, and other people not having a chance to share. And I have experience in keeping things going and keeping things, so that everybody has an opportunity to share. So I do look forward to starting this brand new group, seeing where it goes, and having you a part of it. So if you want to check it out, check the description below. I will have the link, but it is www.griefsupportformoms.com/group. Okay. So you can go there and check it out. And I hope that you take care of yourself, and we will see you next time on the next video. Take care.